Kelly Ripa has spent over 20 years co-hosting ABC's Live, but she's not sure how many more years she'll stay on the series. Ripa will celebrate her 25th anniversary on the daytime talk show on Friday, February 20th. Ahead of the episode, Ripa hinted at what her role on the franchise series will look like down the line. "I believe this show will continue on for as long as linear television exists," she told a Cider in an interview published on Thursday, February 19th. "I believe that there are too many talented people out there that really deserve the opportunity to find their own audience and grow the audience the way they see fit." Ripa went on to reveal, "I don't intend to work for the rest of my life. I really do not. Contrary to what everyone around here thinks." She added, "I don't intend on working for the rest of my life. But I think we'll all make that decision when the time comes. I think there's a way to sort of get new people on board and have them test co-hosts and get the audience used to other people. I think it's important. I love this show too much to see it sort of ever end with us." Kelly Ripa has always had a way of making the ordinary feel electric. Whether she's teasing a co-host, celebrating a quirky holiday, or diving into a heartfelt anecdote about family life, there's an immediacy to her presence that makes viewers feel like they're part of a private, ongoing conversation. That intimacy, part performance, part authenticity, is what has kept audiences tuned in for a quarter of a century. As she prepared to mark her 25th anniversary on Live on Friday, February 20th, Ripa offered a rare, reflective glimpse of what the future might hold, not just for her, but for the show she helped shape into a daytime institution. Sitting across from a reporter in a sunlit green room, Ripa was the picture of composure, polished, quick-witted, and candid. She laughed easily, but the laughter carried weight. 25 years in the same chair, day after day, is a strange kind of endurance, a marathon run on laughter, chemistry, and sheer human connection. She told a Cider that she believes Live will continue for as long as linear television exists, an assertion that carried both faith and defiance in an era of streaming upheaval and accelerated celebrity turnover. To hear Ripa speak of Live is to hear someone describing a living thing, not a set of ratings or corporate assets, but a franchise with a heartbeat, a place where talented people can grow their own audience. "There are too many talented people out there that really deserve the opportunity to find their own audience," she said, suggesting that the show's future may be less about a single permanent face and more about an evolving ensemble. "It's a pragmatic vision, but one rooted in affection. I love this show too much to see it sort of ever end with us," she added. That love, perhaps more than anything, explains why her tenure has felt less like a career than a declaration, a promise to preserve a rare daytime voice, even as television shifts beneath everyone's feet. If you trace the arc of Live from its roots as the morning show with Regis Philbin and Cindy Garvey to its transformation into Live with Regis and Kathy Lee in 1998, you see a program shaped by personalities. Ripa stepped into that lineage in 2001, taking over for Kathy Lee Gifford and enduring the inevitable comparisons and growing pains that come with replacing a beloved co-host. But Ripa did something harder than survive. She made the role her own. Over the years, she's anchored the show beside Regis, then navigated the transition after his exit in 2011, pairing with Michael Strahan from 2012 to 2016, and later with Ryan Seacrest from 2017 to 2023. Each pairing offered new chemistry, new rhythms, and new ways for the show to recalibrate its voice. The sheer continuity of Ripa's presence is striking in an industry that prizes reinvention. She has, as she put it, been able to work full-time while raising a family. That balance, raising her 3 children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, alongside Mark Consuelos, while remaining tethered to the same town and the same routine, is something she counts as a rare privilege. It's a detail that feels small but is deeply significant. Many entertainers must move for roles, uprooting children and rearranging lives to follow careers. Ripa's steadiness allowed her family to stay put, to grow in place. That stability, she suggests, has been as essential to her identity as her professional accomplishments. When asked about the show's longevity, Ripa's answer was practical and human. Daytime viewers don't want to be weighed down by the endless churn of news they already know. Our job when we come on the air, she explained, we are fully cognizant that the viewers at home have had 5 hours of news programming. So we try to bring them a lighter, less anxiety-inducing side of what the headlines have to offer. That line captures the essential contract of daytime TV, to be a counterweight to the overload, to offer warmth when the world feels too cold, to find the absurd within the serious, and to laugh with, not at viewers. On the morning of her anniversary, the studio hummed with a familiar nervous energy. Crew members moved with practiced choreography. Producers whispered last-minute notes. A banner unfurled in the wings promising 25 years of live in glossy letters. Fans had gathered outside the studio, some clutching handmade signs. Others held out handwritten notes thanking Ripa for moments of comfort during difficult times. Her presence, fans said, had been steadying in an ever-shifting cultural landscape. For many viewers, Ripa was less a celebrity and more a daily companion, an ember of normalcy in the chaos. Inside the studio, Ripa wore an understated ensemble, polished, approachable, perfectly television-ready. She began the show with a signature mix of banter and gratitude, teasing her co-hosts, and then launching into a reflective monologue about the arc of the show. She reminded viewers that Live had always been about more than celebrity interviews and viral segments. We cover the absurd, she said on air, and we try to find a way to make headlines feel human, to give people a reason to feel lighter. The audience, filled with longtime fans and curious newcomers, responded with applause that felt like an embrace. Actions that day were punctuated by clips, highlight reels of memorable interviews, goofy mishaps, impromptu dances, and those tender moments when the show veered into real emotion. There was the time a guest's candid revelation led to on-camera tears, the time a co-host's prank went gloriously wrong, the many breakfasts and improvised conversations that felt more like friends catching up than a produced segment. Watching those moments back, it was clear that Liv's appeal was not slickness but sincerity. Ripa's knack for connecting, for making a guest feel safe and viewers feel included, is a skill that defies easy replication. Yet, even as she celebrated, Ripa was honest about limits. I don't intend to work for the rest of my life, she told the cider, a line that landed like a small, defiant bell. There's a frankness to the admission, a recognition that longevity need not be endless, that there is dignity in choosing when to step away. For a woman whose image has been synonymous with professional stamina, the declaration reframes her legacy. It's not about clinging to a chair. It's about stewarding something that can outlast any individual. That idea of succession without demise animated much of Ripa's thinking. She suggested a model where new voices test alongside established ones, where the audience is gradually introduced to potential successors, smoothing the inevitable transitions. It's a kind of institutional generosity, an attempt to ensure the show's vibrancy without making it dependent on a single personality. It's also realistic. The kinds of career arcs that once defined television are changing. People reinvent themselves more frequently. Audiences fragment. Ripa's vision accepts that reality without surrendering the show's essence. Behind the bright lights, Ripa's history with the program is threaded with transformation. Replacing Kathy Lee in 2001 placed her at crossroads. Honor the show's past yet push it forward. Over time, she and her co-hosts experimented with tone and structure, blending traditional interviews with social media moments and audience-driven segments. The show evolved in fits and starts, responding to cultural shifts while trying to keep its core identity intact. Ripa's ability to adapt, to find new ways to be funny, empathetic, and human has been central to that evolution. There's also the private, quieter history, the way the set has been a stage for personal milestones, for shared grief and celebration. Viewers watched Ripa through pregnancy